Hi, my name is Mohammed Sufyan, and I'm a SQL Server database administrator with a couple of years of experience, and I run a website called dbpractice.com, where I share my experiences with the team. So this particular video is one of the part of it, which I'm working upon SQL Server 2016, evaluating the features of SQL Server 2016, and letting the customers know how they can benefit. In this video, we're going to talk about SQL Server 2016 new feature called StretchDatabase onto SQL Server Azure Cloud. Now, by the name, it is very much expressed that stretch database means that taking out your objects or stretching your objects from your on-premises SQL Server instance over to the SQL Server Azure cloud. Now, one of the interesting thing which I like about this feature is that I don't have to do a lot of coding. I don't have to do a lot of configurations, and I really don't have to bug my head to understand basically what this feature is. So I will just quickly jump into this, and I will show you how you can use this feature, how to enable it, how to configure the database for the stretch database, and how to stretch your objects within the database to send it to the SQL Server Azure cloud. As you can see on my screen, I have this on-premises SQL Server SQL instance which have a database called SQL 2016 TB. In this I have a couple of tables, T1 and T2. Now if you right click on the database in SQL Server 2016 Management Studio, you will see these two features: enable database for stretch and disable database for stretch. Now this feature comes alive when you know make a system configuration change by doing the remote data archive, and just enable it and just refresh it, and then right click, and you will see that this particular option is alive. Now when you click on this, it will pop up a page which will basically give you an option that I'm going to send this database over to the cloud. Now it will now when you move in on after the logging on to the subscription, it will ask you that in which Azure location you want to place your database. Basically it is asking in which data center you want to place it, like in Central US, East Asia, East US 2, Japan, North Europe, and South Central. As I'm located in Singapore, I'm just choosing Southeast Asia. So in Southeast Asia, either the Microsoft Azure data center will be in Australia or in Singapore. Now once you configure this, it will ask you for an admin username and password, and it will ask you to add your particular machine IP address to the Azure firewall. Now I have already done these configurations, so my local machine IP address is already added, and I have already have an account which has administrative privileges. So I'm connected to one of my Azure subscription, and this doesn't have any database because I'm just going to demo you how you can easily create a database. You don't need to have some sort of intelligence, that how basically you can create it. Now one drawback is that you cannot use the existing Azure database to stretch your existing on-premises database objects. So I will file a bug, or post a question into the forum, but as of now, let's go and see how basically I can create a new database onto the Azure cloud and stretch my on-premises database objects there. So uh, I have configured this remote data archive, and now I'm going to enable my database for remote data archive. Now we need to alter the database because this is going to change the database settings, and then we have to tell that where I'm going to stretch it. So this is the location of my Azure SQL Server cloud. So remote data archive, Lenovo PC, blah blah, this. So if you log into your portal, and you will go and see that I wanted to see that what my settings are and how basically I'm going to access those. So you need to access your portal account. Now let's enable this database. It will take some time depending upon how far and what is the speed of your internet, and what bandwidth do you have. So for me, it takes nearly about some time, 10 seconds, sometime even a minute. So let's wait for it to complete. as you can see, as I said, that sometimes it take quite some time for me, so it took nearly about 1 minute and 2 seconds. Now let's quickly refresh the Azure database and see whether what my database is. Now it, depending upon, it will create a database by some name. Now this is the remote database as uh, uh, remote database Azure. This is the database name SQL Server 2016 DB and some number. Now these are random numbers, and I won't suggest you to change this because your database is actually bound with this. I will show you later on that how basically your on-premises database is binded with this name. So let's quickly do that now. Let's enable and stretch one of our table which is on premises to the cloud. So to do that, what you need to do is just alter the table and just say enable remote data archive with migrate strategically now on, sorry, no, okay, on. So what it will do is it will script out the table, it will create it on Azure depending upon the data type acceptability. What data types can be accepted on Azure, so that's a different topic. You need to search on what data types are being accepted on Azure. So it will convert those things and it will transfer the data accordingly. So let's do this quickly and create the table. So now the table is created. You can see in a while that the tables are there. So let's do this. So the moment you enable this, it will SQL Server silently in the background will create the tables to the Azure and transfer the data. So let's see. Okay, now you can see this. So depending, the name of the table was T1. It was a DBO under schema, so it got DBO under T1 and created as a DBO dot. So now it will start inserting the data there. Now let's quickly insert some data on this and see that how quickly it will transfer it. So before I can see, let's do this here. So I don't have this table name, so let me just pull it and push it here. So umbrella survey database. So we can see I don't have any data right now. So let me send the data first and insert it here, and let's see how quickly it sends the data here. You can see the data is here now. Now how basically data gets transferred from my on-premises to the SQL Server Azure. So just expand your table which you have stretched and go to the triggers, and you will say a trigger has been created for remote data archive. Now you cannot read this because this is encrypted. uh, SQL Server Profiler won't capture what exactly it is doing, but internally it has your on-premises database configuration, the username and the password by which it will connect and insert the data in your table. So in the starting I said that I have this database name. So when I configured initially, it will connect to your by taking the username or my subscription ID. It will go here, use that account and insert the data into your table. So this is how basically you can do that about stretching it, and disabling it is very easy. What you just need to do is just go here, disable your table for a stretch, and then remove the database from remote access. And simple, if you refresh, the trigger will go away, your tables are not stretched anymore. um, so you can just go here blindly in your uh, portal and just delete the database, and that's it, done. So creating is easy and deleting is easy as well. uh, I basically using this instance to do proof of concept for one of our mobile application where we have customer all over the world. So now when the majority of customers we are having in Southeast Asia, but our servers are in US, so it takes quite some time for them to uh, access the data. Sometime when we have some performance issues, the application really suffers. So what we thinking of it to pushing our region-based data to the regional data center by dividing the table in on-premises. It will speed up the you know access of the application. The customer will be happy because of the response time of the application. So I think it's a pretty good feature, and it is going to benefit a lot of people if it's been used properly. I haven't tested this with other features like in-memory OLTP and how basically it will behave. I haven't tested that how basically the database restores will happen. So those things are pending. But this particular video was specifically focused to let you know that how basically you can enable database stretch and how can you use your objects onto on-premises from on-premises to the SQL Server Azure cloud. I hope you find this good, and thanks for watching. Thank you so much.